So that is the backstory of the Roosevelt Room. At this point, he was a former president, and his successor, Taft, was president. And then he decided to run against Taft and against Woodrow Wilson in 1912, split the vote, and that's how Woodrow Wilson got elected. So at this point, 1914, he had just failed to become president and, was sort of a man about town, I guess. There's another bit of true history that we wove into this, which was, so World War I had started in 1914. Roosevelt was a hawk. He was a man of action. He wanted to get into the fight, and he wanted to get in the fight both as a nation and as an individual. And he wrote a letter, and we used to kind of have players read the letter, but it was just too long. But he basically wrote a letter to Woodrow Wilson saying, put me in, coach. Like, I'm colonel. I volunteer, put me in. I'm going to lead whatever you want me to lead, And I just imagined Woodrow Wilson having just campaigned against this guy, just defeated him for president. Woodrow Wilson was a pacifist. I mean, Roosevelt would go around and use that as an insult. This guy was a, darn pacifist. And I just imagine Woodrow Wilson getting this letter from, this Teddy Roosevelt, kind of rolling his eyes and saying, yeah, Teddy wants me to send him to Europe. That's not our plan. So we imagined how Roosevelt might have responded. So we wrote a letter from Wilson to Roosevelt. And Wilson basically says, thank you so much for your really generous offer. I got something for you. I want to give you a commission, and I want you to figure out what we should do if we do go to war, how we should be prepared. And he basically is giving Roosevelt busy work. Like, go off and just, go think big thoughts and don't bother me anymore with this nonsense of trying to, join the army.
He gave him the controller that's not plugged in like you do to your little brother who wants to play with you.
Exactly. Go create a committee, just get out of my face. I'm going to give you busy work because I want you to stop bothering me. So that is the backstory of the Roosevelt Room. So what does Teddy Roosevelt do with this commission? Well, first of all, he goes to the PPIE because that's where all the brilliant minds of the world are going to be assembled.
What's the PPIE?
Excuse me. Is the Panama Pacific International Exposition. And that was the exposition that took place in 1915. And they took over the entire Marina District of San Francisco. It was this incredible World's Fair. And that's why everyone was here. And that's why the Palace of Fine Arts was one of the many buildings that was built for that great event. About 20 million people came to this event in San Francisco in 1915. So Roosevelt was here and he gave speeches, and he would have, reconnected with Houdini, who was here. And so then, given this commission, he would have recruited his friend Houdini to say, what should we do? And they would have identified some of the leading minds. You would have thought about the leading industrialists of the day, Henry Ford, and the great inventor of the day, Thomas Edison. You would have thought about the great storied cowboy, Buffalo Bill Cody. The greatest entertainer of the day was Charlie Chaplin, and John Philip Sousa, the great march composer. So we could imagine him talking to Houdini saying, let's get these people together. And I need to get these people who all have big egos to work together as a team.
Now I want an escape room that's like a heist movie, like a League of Extraordinary Gentlemen with all these characters.
So that's the story of the Houdini Room. Like the Houdini was like, Harry Houdini, like, I need you guys to work together as a team. I'm going to create, using all the things that I know and experience, for you to work together to escape and get you all to bond. So that's the Houdini Room, right? And so the Roosevelt Room is, all right, now you're bonded. We're going to ease you into what we're actually here for. And that is getting them into the mindset that this country may have to enter this great and horrible war. And so that's the Roosevelt Room, is the getting the team mind adjusted around the mission that they were all being assembled ostensibly to address. So that's the kind of narrative backstory of what the Roosevelt Room's about.
I did not realize that they are all kind of sequels to each other in a way, I guess.
Yes. Roosevelt is absolutely a sequel of Houdini, and Edison is a sequel to Roosevelt in its way. And even the attraction, in a stretched way, has elements, but we'll get to that next time.
Listen to the rest of the episode now by becoming a patron at the Search Win level for access to all of the Spoilers Club episodes. To join, visit patreon.com/roomescapeartist, and for more details on the different escape rooms that we've covered, visit roomescapeartist.com and search under the podcast tab for Spoilers Club.